Welcome to the Lockdown Lowdown. I'm Dev Sani, and today I'm joined by the chief lion in the camp, the beast from the east himself, Mr. Anthony Yard. How you doing, mate?
Lions in the camp.
Blew me away. You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Look, before anything, this is the first time we've spoken sort of publicly. Huge condolences to you, your family, from everyone at Queensbury Promotions. It's awful what's happened, and we really are sorry for your losses.
Yes.
With that in mind, mate, where is your head at right now? It's been a few weeks. What's going on in Anthony Yard's head?
Oh, my head's on my shoulders.
Still the same.
No,
Still there.
Still there, you know. Big neck, big shoulders. You know what? I'm alright. I know it's like, for some people it's hard to believe or hard to comprehend, but it's life, man. It's life. There's gonna be a worse outcome if I'm sad for too long, than if I try my best to just be happy and try my best to be myself. When people pass away, they don't want the people they love and care about to be moping around sad for too long, especially if they're good people. So, you know, I feel like as family members and, you know, people of the world, or people that are still got the opportunity to be living, we owe it to the people that are gone to, you know, just live our lives and be as happy as possible.
You've chosen to speak quite openly and honestly about this. You did ITV the other day, and that was a fantastic interview, and it was really sort of raw and honest. Do you feel as though that's helping you deal with it as well as trying to help others who might be going through the same thing?
Yeah, it's a mixed pot, really. There's people. I'm one of them people. Yeah, I always like to look at things like this. If I'm going through it, or if I felt an emotion, there's someone out there in the world that's felt the same emotion, and someone out there that has dealt with it how I would like to deal with it. So that's just you know, not motivation, but it's peace of mind. You know, if you look at, I will keep saying this, if you look at what happens around the world, yeah, day in, day out, how many adverts do you see where kids' bellies are bloated and they can't get clean drinking water? How much people do you see that have got illnesses, they haven't got the healthcare services to look at? And these people have families, you know. There's people in other countries. Some people in this country, you know, you walk on the street sometimes, you see people that are homeless. Some of them are lying, but some of them are actually homeless. And you know, it's sad that you can't tell, you know, the reals from the fakes, but that's just life again. And when you see things like that, it humbles you, because even though you're in a decent position, there's still people out there going through it. So I'm just one of the people, I like to look at a bigger picture. And you know, there's no need for me to be feeling sorry for myself.
You've always had this, well, since I've known you, you've had this elite mentality, and it's this winner's mentality. It's all in the head. It's lions in the camp, right? But tell me this, the Anthony Yard 10 years ago, before you started boxing, if this situation had happened to you then, how would that Anthony Yard have dealt with it compared to how you're dealing with it now?
Beautiful question. 10 years ago, I was 18. I would have used all the excuses in the world of why I can be angry. I would have used all the excuses in the world of, you know, why I can lose my temper, why I can do this, why I can do that. It's just excuses. Life still goes on. 18 years old, I was mature in some ways, but very immature in other ways. And you know, sometimes going through life experiences either make you or break you. And I'm the person I'm today because of decisions I've made, how I've chose to deal with certain situations, and mainly the struggles, because you only know your true character when you're faced with struggles. And I always say this because you can shout this, you can preach this. I'm shouting lions in the camp. Yeah, lions in the camp. I'm roaring it. People only really started to believe it, like really, after the Kovalev fight, because I showed that I have heart. If I was shouting lions in the camp and then I was on, I don't want to swear on your channel.
Say it, just say it. I'll bleep it out.
If I was on, I'm there, got hit a couple of times and just quit. No one's shouting lions in the camp. Do you get what I'm saying? But even Kovalev, before the fight, he was, doing his little banter and said, Cubs in the camp. After the fight, he says, you are a lion. You are a lion. And it's like little things like that. You can only build yourself based on how you deal with experiences. And this is one of them experiences. Is like, I don't just shout lions in the camp and say it's a mentality. Lion, I don't want to say I'm literally a lion, because that's nonsense. But I see it as this: when I'm shouting lions in the camp, I'm a Leo, so I've got a certain mentality, and that's this. I said it to I put it in comparison to when I was talking about other people in the world. If other people are going through it, who am I to think that I'm any different? Do you get what I'm saying? If someone else can deal with it and deal with worse, because there's people out there dealing with worse. I know it's a sad situation. It's actually mad. But my dad and my nan, they passed away. It's very sad because, it's not ideal. The ideal way to pass away, in my opinion, is to be old from age, have your family by your bedside, and get to say goodbye. But they wasn't in pain, They wasn't in a situation where you could, they were blown up. You couldn't repair their body. I know it's graphic, but there's people out there that go through worse. There's people out there that are murdered. So it's not that I'm saying it's okay that they've gone, but it could be worse. And that's the mentality I've got.
You're a big believer in life teaching you as you go. Everything's a lesson. So within say the last year, what has life taught you? What have you learned from life?
Life's taught me that the things I believe in are right. And that's just it. And as I like the fact that you said 10 years ago, because 10 years ago was my transition stage. I started boxing 9 years ago, learning how to box, from scratch. And it was around 10 years ago when I started to make certain decisions. I started to look at life a bit different, probably from trauma again. And just the way I dealt with it, like, I've got opportunity. I don't want to be in this kind of lifestyle. I want to make something for myself. And life, as I said before, life can make you or break you. And what life will do to me is motivate me, help me along. I'm a very strong believer in God. So I believe that when you've got a good heart and you do well, you do good things and you have good intentions, the bad things you go through are lessons. You have to go through things to teach you, prepare you for the real world, because this world can be mad sometimes, I can't lie.
The way that you've dealt with it and the stuff that you're saying, the stuff that has come out in interviews has been very admirable. And I think a lot of people are going to take motivation from it. It felt like when the news got out there that the boxing world, in times like this, it sort of comes together and it sort of clinches you almost. And were there any surprises from some of the people messaging you? Were you surprised, like, I didn't think he'd message me? Because it seemed to be everyone.
A lot of us boxers, we don't hate each other. We don't wish bad on each other. We're just we're in a sport where when you get in the ring, there's no friendship, there's none of that. But outside the ring, we're human beings. 9 times out of 10, boxers are very nice people. We leave our aggression and our ill-mannered behaviors in the ring or in a boxing gym. 9 times out of 10, when you see people with, negative personalities, it's a sales pitch. But 9 times out of 10, boxers are very nice people. So I got messages from a lot of people in my weight class, people that there's someone that a lot of people want me to fight, sent me a message. We've seen each other before. It's all been love. Lyndon Arthur, again, someone I'm meant to be fighting very, very soon, just sent me condolences, bro, and stay strong and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, even though we're getting ready to fight each other, there's no bad blood, really. There might be a bit of bad blood getting thrown around when we're in the ring or the build-up, but none of us wish anything traumatic like that to happen to each other. Do you get what I'm saying? So a lot of people message me. A lot of people.
Nice stuff from Lyndon Arthur there. I think sometimes occasions like this, it really brings out the best in people as well, and you do see true colours. So that's nice to hear. You and Lyndon Arthur are about to punch each other's heads in, and he's messaging you like that. Correction. Oh, God.
We're not about to punch each other's heads in.
Who's going to punch whose head in?
again, I'm not one of the people that brag and boast, but I'm a very confident individual, and it ain't me getting my head punched in. I'll tell you that.
All right, talk to
Hey,
me
boy.
about training then. You're still looking absolutely ridiculous. Probably like minus 10% body fat. I mean, I don't even like.
A bit extra armpit hair, but don't worry about all that. You see the arms.
I ain't even worried about the head. Goodness me. So, like, how's training? You're still putting in some work, aren't you?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I'm one of the people. I'm self-driven. I can. Again, this excuses thing. The only thing I've got excuses for is that you can't spar. That's contact to contact. I've tried. The only thing I haven't got as well is I haven't got a punching bag yet, but I'm in the process of setting one up. But I've been doing everything: shadow boxing, press ups, sit ups, dips, going around the block, running up and down, going for bike rides, something that I never used to do. I've started doing. Even skating, roller skating, very good for the legs. I've just been trying to stay active, man. Children, when a child's going to school, you see them with little abs because they're active. They're running around all the time. They're just hyperactive. They're restless. And there are the days when I have my lazy days. When I had the bad news about my family members, there was a couple of days when I was feeling down. I just want to lay in my bed and just eat. And yeah, man. I even said this before in the interview. What people don't do, everyone's saying, "Oh, Anthony needs to, if you're upset, be upset. You don't need to put on an act and always smile." I'm like, bro, there's no act. There's no act. When I first found out, I was upset. I did lay in my bed, just confused about what's happening, and I did go through some sort of emotion. But at the same time, that's not my natural state. I like to be happy. I like to laugh and joke. You get what I'm saying? So when it was time for me to mourn and I was upset, and you look through old pictures and you do all these things. I've done that. I still do it now. My cousins are posting pictures. I sit there and I'm like, you tut at the screen and you shake your head and you be like, I remember that. Do you get what I'm saying? And I do all that. So that's what I scream for people to do is worry about yourself. Do what makes you happy. If you're upset and you feel like you just need to be alone, go and be alone. If you want to cry, go and cry. If you want to just train it out, go and train it out. If you want to laugh it out, laugh it out. Do you know what I'm saying? Stop trying to please everybody else because that will lead you to being unhappy.
You said something there, which I remember you saying just after the Kovalev fight, which was, if you're upset, be upset. And 100%. It was straight afterwards, and Tunde was saying something to you about, come on, you've come this far. It was something, encouraging. Yeah. And you just said, let me be upset.
Yeah, 100%. And again, that's one of them heartfelt moments. I remember watching the highlights on BT Sports, and I remember looking at it and I was like, that's mad. I never pictured that happening to me. Do you get what I'm saying? I never pictured like me after the fight with my hands on the rope saying, just let me be upset. But that's a natural instinct coming out. Do you get what I'm saying? I never expected to be in a big fight like that so early in my career. And I never knew how I would deal with it, I might have, in another time, I could have been more strategic. I got offered step-aside money. I got offered $1 million to step aside. But that's not my mentality. And that's not what sat in my gut. What sat in my gut was, this is an opportunity for me to have a massive fight. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Let's get it cracking. But again, to see that, I was like, that was just pure natural instinct because that's what I'm like as a person. If I'm upset, leave me to be upset. Don't try and tell me everything's okay. It's not okay. I've just lost the fight. You get what I'm saying? Let me be upset. And that's it. And then me and Tony had conversations afterwards. Me and Ade had conversations after. Me and Cutman Cam had a conversation after. And, it's, when you can talk about things you're upset about, you become a better person because you learn from it. You can accept it and move on.
Yeah, 100%. You talk there about natural instinct, and you've got that sort of natural fighter's instinct as well. Let me tell you this. When I see some stairs to go down, my natural instinct, is to walk down them. That's just me. There was this video flying about the other week of my man, Anthony Yarde, crawling down some steps and then crawling back up. Talk me through that. What on earth were you doing?
Lions in the camp. That's literally it. Lions in the camp. I'm one of them people, yeah. When I was younger, this is my transition. When you see my shoulders and you see my neck, and you think I'm naturally built like that. I'm not. You know, I'm very small. If you look at my wrist, I've got small wrist. But I feel like your body's formed in your younger stages. So when I was younger, I was one of them monkey children. You know, I was climbing on the banister. I was doing pull-ups on the door frame. And I used to do that. I used to crawl down my stairs by my arms, like go down the stairs. And I've always had like an obsession with lions. You know, I remember when used to see lions creeping up on other animals and things like that. I used to imitate it. I'll be honest with you. I was a little monkey / lion running around the house. Another thing as well, when I watched wrestling, I saw that they were big. Like they had good physiques. Someone like The Rock, you know, Triple H, they were massive. So I wanted to be big as well. And then my cousin at the time, he was quite butch as well. He was stocky and big. So when I see him doing exercise, I used to copy. He had little 5 kilo weights, little blue ones. A lot of people can probably relate to these weights. Everyone had them, little plastic ones. He was there doing them reps or whatever. I picked them up. I was probably about 7, 8, yeah? And my mum used to tell me off and say, you're going to stunt your growth. Always remember hearing that, you're going to stunt your growth. My cousin was doing that. I used to pick up one with my hand and try and copy. So I've always been one of them competitive people. And by the time I got to like age 13, I was competing with him, saying, I'm going to do more than you. I've always had that mentality. So
you was doing the stairs because you're a lion, essentially.
Basically.
So answer me this then. How has the lion been eating, and how's this lion been coping without Sheesh Chigwell?
But you know what smacks it? I'm one of the people, because of what I went through with this whole tragedy thing, I just got a bit more paranoid. You know, I was paranoid before, but I was more paranoid. I'm like, how do things get passed on? You know, it's through contact. You know, these kind of viruses can live on surfaces for hours. You know, and I was like, eating that ain't smart. You know, just eat home cooked food, and when you go shopping, come back, disinfect everything you got. When I say paro, I mean paro. But recently, it was my mom's birthday the other day. Happy birthday, Mom. And she just kept saying to me, I want some sheesh. So I said, you know what? I think it's time, you know. So I said, I'm gonna contact the big man Dylan and tell him for mom's birthday, we're having a family feast, lions in the camp, and then see what he can prepare for me. And that's literally, we're probably going to do that today. So it's mad that you mentioned sheesh. All I would do is when it comes, you know, you just wipe down the surfaces, wipe down the containers, put the food in the oven to warm up. You're good to go. Good to go.
Yeah, we're doing that at the moment. Not with Sheesh. I don't think I live close enough. But Domino's Pizza. I mean, I'm sort of just collecting it like this, washing my hands, everything, having a shower. I mean, the pizza's cold by the time I get around to eating it. But boxing's coming back soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
But it would have been a while since you last fought. Tell me, how glad are you that you popped to Spain for a fight, like a cheeky little fight at the start of the year?
Listen, call me a genius or call me stupid. This is what I keep telling everybody. Stop giving me negative feedback when I make certain decisions, you know. When I fought Kovalev, that was August of last year. All now, I wouldn't have had a fight. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm 28 years old. I started boxing very late. My main priority is to stay active. I feel like I learn more and more each fight. And if I didn't have that fight, even though it wasn't, you know what? I can't say it wasn't competitive because that guy
came to fight.
Come to win. Listen, I was laughing at myself and I was laughing at him because this guy, he was fighting as if it was his last ever fight. He even headbutted me. But yeah, I stopped him in the second round, I think, because he got me mad. But I needed to have that fight, and I said it after the Kovalev fight. There was 2 reasons I had that fight. I just wanted to fight again. I wanted to be in that scenario when I fought. I didn't want my last memory to be of me losing. I wanted to fight. I didn't care who it was. And if a belt became vacant, which I heard that there was rumors there was going to be, and Canelo did vacate, if a belt became vacant and I got put forward to fight for that belt, I wouldn't be able to get put forward if I was coming for a loss. So when I heard that, I said, bruv, put me on any show. I don't care where it is. Send me Spain, send me Dubai. I don't care. Yeah, just let me swing somebody. So that's the only person that you could get that was willing to take the fight. I took the fight on like 2 weeks' notice. So it's not like it was a fight that I promoted and said, "Oh, watch me fight here." It wasn't like that. It was just for me. I wanted to get myself back in shape again. You know, diet, get myself back to the weight or at least next to the weight. And it's just for my own thing really. But look, no one's fighting now. So how does everyone feel? I'm glad I got a little fight recently.
Worked out well. Tell me how desperate are you to punch someone in the face again?
Do you know what? I don't like to use that language because yeah. Like recently, when I've been going out on the street and I've been seeing people in the parks, or I've been seeing people I know with their boys, and I'm like, but I know you man don't live together. Like, what are you doing? And then obviously because of what I've been through, I know how serious this thing is. And I ever spoke to one of my closest friends on the phone the other day, and he said something so stupid. Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, I said because it's his birthday coming up," and he was like, "Oh yeah, come round." I said, "Are you mad? So what are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, everyone's allowed one person." I said, "Where'd you get this information from? Are you telling this to yourself?" So I started shouting at him on the phone. I was like, "Bruv, you're acting like my dad just didn't just die and my nan didn't just die from this thing. What are you saying? It's a conspiracy." That's what some people are saying. It's a conspiracy. It's for this. Bruv, it's a virus. If it's a conspiracy and they're talking about, I personally believe these 5G towers ain't good for us. This is again my message. I believe they're not good for us, but that's not coronavirus. People are saying, "Oh, that's the reason people are dying." No, because these 5G towers ain't built in America yet. They're not built in certain countries yet. But why is it in them countries? Like, use your brain and think, man. That's what I'm trying to say. So I started telling off my bird yesterday. And this is what people are doing. So they're the kind of people I want to punch in their face. I'll be honest with you. It's not even no boxes like that. It's just people I'm seeing do stupid things. You're in a park with people, you're just your friends because you're bored. It's not you. If you don't care about your own life, think about other people. It's not fair. You might have contracted something because you're not careful, and it could have not have affected you yet. You could go and meet your friend. They go back home and affect their parents. Like, listen, people just need to pay attention to what's going on. Take your time. It won't last forever. We'll probably be out of quarantine now if everyone stuck to the rules. But you see, right now, I'm looking out the window. I'm seeing people in there, walking around. I'm seeing people in groups of 8, 9, 10, and I know they don't live together.
There's a lot of ignorance out there. I think
Yeah,
they're called COVIDiots. So
that's
yeah,
a good word. I like that word. I like that word.
sorry, it's not mine. I think the Daily Mail just every day COVIDiots spotted here. But all right, so when boxing does come back, it looks like it's going to be behind closed doors. Looks like very few people are going to be there. Now, your ring entrances. Let's go through some of them. Lethal Bizzle, pow, leave for the me. And then we've got to think about Russia, where you're out there doing all this. You're playing up to the crowd. How is the Beast from the East going to cope with no crowd?
Oh, this is what I'm saying. And I don't agree with it. I'll be honest with you. I know we need to fight, but look, think of it like this. A fight like me against Lyndon Arthur, that's a big fight, you know. He's undefeated. He's a prospect. I've been on the world stage. I've accomplished a lot. We're both knockout artists. We're both exciting fighters. Why would you want to do a fight like that behind closed doors? Not only that, as well, we say that we're gonna limit human contact, but when boxing's on, everyone knows what happens. Everyone goes and links up at their friend's house. Who's ordering a fight? And you start messaging your friend, who's ordering a fight? Everyone's gonna go there. It's still gonna cause like mingling. It's still gonna cause crowds. Even I'm hearing that the football coming back, the Premier League. Again, I don't agree with it. I'll just be honest with you. I believe in sacrifice. Yeah, we all want to be entertained again. I've been watching a Michael Jordan documentary, and I want to watch some basketball. I want to do all these things, but is it worth the risk? That's just the way I see it. If I get called back to fight, as long as all the procedures are done, I'm going to be there to fight. But us boxers, we fight for the crowd sometimes. I'm one of the people. Everyone knows my style. It's to be explosive, to be entertaining, to be exciting. When there's no crowd, it's like you're showing off to yourself. you're just doing whatever. No one cares about no ring entries. You might as well just walk in the ring.
Have you seen any of the UFC?
Well, recently?
Yeah, where they've had no crowd and it's just no one's
Swear
there.
down.
Yeah.
No.
It's not, there was a mad thing the other day where someone was on top of the other person. He had him in like a headlock from behind, and they started talking to each other, and you could just hear what they're saying. He was like,
Yeah.
"Sorry, bro, it's just business," and he was like, "Yeah, is what it is," kind of thing. Looking back at him, can you see yourself chatting to opponents as you're having a fight with them?
Yeah, 100%, because you can hear each other. It's just going to be that sparring, basically. That's literally what it's going to be. It's going to be that sparring without the headgear. Um, yeah, cameras are still going to be there. People are still going to be excited at home, but you need that crowd. Kovalev got through the 8th round because of the crowd. I don't care what no one says. I had him on the ropes, and I'm like, I remember the crowd screaming. I remember hearing Russian language. Like, I don't know what they were saying, but it was helping him. And that's boxing, man. You need the crowd. There's never been in history, big fights happening where there's no crowd. Boxing
Yeah.
is an entertaining sport. Like, it's mad. Imagine football fans. Imagine a World Cup happening with no crowd. There's no. You're hearing the crowd. Even when you hear it on TV, it sounds good. So imagine just hearing the commentators' voices. Nah, man. Nah.
I don't think we're going to have to imagine it. I think we're just going to see it very, very
We're
soon,
gonna
Anthony.
see it. We're gonna see it. Yeah.
Unfortunately. So away from your career, things going on in boxing, I just want to get your opinion on before I let you go. I know Mike Tyson's one of your big heroes, one of your
Big
idols.
Mike.
What's going on? Why is he talking about coming back?
Oh, mate, I can't lie. I'm one of the people. I don't agree with it. Again, I don't want him to come back. He's retired. You're a legend. Everyone saw how his career ended. I was upset. Even when he fought Danny Williams. Danny Williams is British, and in that fight, I almost started crying because I'm like, that's not Mike Tyson, man. I'm like, that's not Mike Tyson. No. When he fought Lewis, I'm like, that's not Mike Tyson. And when he fought, I forgot who another guy fought when he just laid on the ropes, and he was like, after the fight, he said, I don't love this no more. You know, I'm doing it for a paycheck. Mike Tyson. No, Michael Tyson. Allow it, please, man. You're one of them icons of the sport. No one wants to see anything happen. You're like he looks like he can give it because he's looking mad on the pads. I even posted it on my Instagram because it's amazing to see someone that's 53 years old do that. But no one knows how he's gonna take a punch now. I'm hearing about him and Shannon Briggs. But allow it, man. Allow it. Please allow it. No, nah, allow it. We want you not to get your paydays. We want you to have good lives, all that stuff. But we don't want to see you fight when you're old and you know it's not that you're old, but you're elderly. You know, you're in your 50s, man. Come on. I don't like it. Tyson's my guy. I don't want him to even lose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fair. I think a lot of people are in the same boat. You don't want to see. I mean, it was sad enough seeing him sat on the ropes, as you said. I think it was Kevin McBride. It was
Yeah,
against.
yeah.
Yeah, like please
And
don't
you're sitting on the
tarnish it
ropes like
anymore.
this. Listen.
Another one again. It's heavyweight. There was talk of, well, basically Frank Warren said he'd be happy to put Daniel Dubois in with Deontay Wilder in a couple of fights' time, and then Daniel Dubois said, "Yeah, I'd knock Wilder out." So, what do you think of that?
Every fighter has a chance against any fighter. As far as I'm concerned. How old is Dubois? 21, 22,
20,
isn't it?
22, yeah.
He's 22 years old. Come on, man. I started my professional career when I was 23. Like, yeah, Daniel's he's a lump. He's a big guy. He's got such a bright future ahead of him. Wilder's like, you know, the next 5 years he'll probably retire. Probably maybe less. You know, he's had these big fights. Everyone's basing what Fury did to Wilder as Wilder. That's not. Listen to me. He's got the highest knockout ratio in boxing history. Some of these knockouts have been devastating. He's got one punch knockout power. I don't want to see again. I want Daniel to succeed and do extremely well. There's a big fight for him against Joshua in the future. You know, just keep letting Daniel build. You know, don't rush him. Just keep moving him in the right direction, and then he could be a force in the heavyweight division. Daniel's meant to say that he would knock him out, just like I say I knock everyone out as well because it's a possibility. You know, and you're meant to have belief in yourself. And we genuinely do believe we'll knock that other person out. But yeah, man.
Not yet. I
Wilder's
mean,
a dangerous guy.
in defence of Frank Warren, he did say in a couple of fights, so he's got to get through Joe Joyce, really tough fight, then another fight, and then he'd do it kind of thing. But
No one can look past Joe Joyce. That fight is mad. That's actually a mad fight. Joe Joyce is like he's a train coming forward. he performs on big stages. That's a tricky fight for Daniel. That's a good fight. I'm definitely gonna be one of the people that want to see that fight. If I'm fighting in a card, I can't get to see it straight away. I'll go back. I'll watch it on TV.
Have you given a prediction on that fight?
What
Dubois Joyce.
and Joyce. I think I did, but I can't remember. I can't choose between the two. I genuinely know both guys. When I see both guys, we talk, we have conversation. I wouldn't necessarily pick a winner. I'm not going to choose who I want to win because I just want them both to do extremely well. I would like to see a draw so they can do it again. I'm being honest, just so they can do it again and get another paycheck and entertain the crowd again. I hope it's a fantastic fight. And I'm saying this, I'm not even saying this because I'm trying to say the right thing. I'm saying this as genuine. Same way Wilder Fury won. In the beginning, I don't know why I didn't put a bet on. Don't ask me why. But I said, it's going to be a draw. When they drawed, I almost slapped Tunde's head from frustration. I remember, we was in the crowd, yeah, and I almost slapped his head and I was like, I told you. I would have won some money on that fight.
Yeah, well, I hope Tunde's head is okay.
Still shiny.
Still shining. Anthony, look, before I let you go, any kind of final advice, any words of wisdom for these COVIDiots out there who are not listening? What can you tell them?
Just words of advice. Try and sometimes put yourself in other people's shoes. Don't leave it until something bad happens to take notice. Yes, some people are saying they don't live in fear. They don't do this, they don't do that. Fear breeds this, fear breeds that. But it might not be you. Your fears, your mindset of not having fear don't reflect on other people. They might have fear and you might be the fearless one going to contract something. Your immune system might be fantastic to fight it off. You might have very strong lungs to deal with it. Someone else in your household or someone else you're around that you have contact with might not be like you or have the same, strong lungs like you. So I just feel like it's not worth it. It's a small sacrifice. Not everybody can do it, but it's like, even with success, you sacrifice for a reward. We need to just sacrifice for a little bit more. Just stay in our houses as much as we can. Get a chance to, connect with people you love in a different way. Just talk more, I don't know, FaceTime, Zoom. And then, it's going to be even more special when you do link up and you can go out and do things again. But that's going to just take longer if we can't stay in our houses. So just think before you act. That's a slogan. Think before you act, lions in the camp.
There you go. You've heard it from Anthony Yarde himself. Anthony, thank you so much for speaking to me today. Really appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see you in person soon. We can do like elbow bumps and stuff like that.
Come on. Cool. You know the handshakes. You know how I get down.
All of that. Cheers, mate. See you later.